Welcome to Interview Mock Lab podcast.
Great to be here.
Today, we're tackling something that, let's be honest, makes a lot of people nervous. The English job interview.
Yeah, it can be stressful, especially if English isn't your first language. But even for native speakers, interviews are high pressure.
Definitely. But preparation really is key. It can make a huge difference to your confidence. So today, we're going to walk through the typical stages of an interview.
Right, looking at some practical tips, what to do, maybe what not to do, based on common practices.
Exactly. We want to equip you with some actionable insights so you can feel ready and hopefully ace that next interview.
Sounds like a plan. Where should we start?
Okay, so interviews usually kick off with those first few moments, right? The small talk phase.
Yeah, you arrive. Maybe there's a handshake. We should probably talk about that later, too.
Good point.
And then there's that brief, friendly exchange. Hello, how was your journey? That sort of thing.
So what's the real point of that? Is it just, politeness?
Yeah. Well, yes, politeness, but it's more about setting the stage. It helps everyone, including the interviewer, just ease into the more formal conversation.
Ah, okay, so it's like a warm-up.
Exactly. Commenting on the weather, maybe the weekend if it's a Monday. Keep it light.
And the key is brevity, I suppose. Don't launch into a 10-minute story about your traffic woes.
Please don't. Keep answers concise, polite. You can even ask a simple question back, like, how are you doing?
Right, the classic, I'm great, thank you, and you exchange.
Simple, effective. And honestly, practicing these small exchanges, even just saying them out loud to yourself or a friend, it can help.
Makes sense. Gets you comfortable speaking English in that specific, slightly formal setting.
Builds a bit of muscle memory, reduces some of that initial anxiety.
Okay, so after the small talk, we often hit what feels like the first real question. Tell me about yourself.
Ah, yes. The big open-ended one. It can feel a bit daunting, like, where do I even start?
Exactly. Do they want my life story?
No, definitely not. They're looking for a professional summary. Think education, relevant work history.
So, focused on things that connect to the job you're actually interviewing for.
Precisely. Mention your degree, maybe the university if it's relevant,
Yeah.
your previous companies, your roles there, key achievements.
Years of experience in the field.
Right. Highlight areas of experience and maybe interests that genuinely line up with the job description. It's your professional elevator pitch, almost.
Okay. And you mentioned having maybe 2 or 3 key things ready, like specific achievements.
Yeah, that's a great approach. Things that show the skills they're looking for. Briefly explain the situation, what you did, and the positive result. Makes it concrete.
And practice is important here too, I imagine.
Hugely important. Try talking about yourself professionally for about, say, a minute. Record it. Listen back.
Oh, interesting. So you can catch where you stumble or ramble.
Exactly. See what sounds strong where you could be clearer. But don't memorize the script.
Right, because that can sound robotic.
Totally. Aim for free talking using key phrases and points. More natural, more confident.
Okay, moving on. Another common one. How did you hear about this position? Seems simple enough.
It usually is, but it tells them a bit about your job search. Did you find it yourself? Did someone refer you?
So you might mention a current employee, maybe a friend who works there.
Yeah. Or LinkedIn, the company website. Just be straightforward.
And like the small talk, maybe practice saying it, especially if the company name or website is a bit of a mouthful.
Good point. Pronunciation practice helps build confidence. Just repeating those tricky words can make a difference.
Okay, next up. What attracted you to our company? This feels like a chance to show off your research.
It absolutely is. This is where you show you've done more than just read the job ad.
So what are they looking for here? Genuine interest.
Yes, genuine interest backed by specifics. Mention something concrete that impressed you. Maybe their commitment to sustainability, a recent project, their company culture, if you know something about it.
Not just a generic, you seem like a great company.
Exactly. Show you understand their company. What makes them tick? Why do you specifically want to work there?
And preparing for this, even if they don't ask this exact question, is probably useful anyway.
Definitely. Thinking about why you're attracted to them helps clarify your own motivations and will likely inform other answers too.
Right. Now let's get into the self-assessment questions. Strengths first. What would you say is your greatest strength?
Okay, this is your chance to shine a light on your positive qualities as an employee, maybe even as a person.
How do you structure that? Just list something.
Not just list it. State the strength, but then, and this is key, explain how it helps you in your work. Give context.
So my greatest strength is X, and this is really important when I'm doing Y. Something like that.
Perfect structure. Think about what you're genuinely good at: problem solving, collaboration, maybe you're super flexible or persistent.
Like the example about flexibility being useful when working with diverse teams.
Exactly. Pick one or two strengths that are really relevant to the job you're interviewing for. Have examples ready.
And practice talking about them, not just listing them.
Yes. Speak freely, confidently about why it's a strength and how you use it.
Okay, now the one people often dread. Tell me about a time when you suffered a setback or some variation about dealing with difficulty.
Right, the behavioral questions. They want to see how you handle pressure, adversity, things not in a plan.
Are there common variations, like dealing with difficult colleagues or
Oh,
clients?
yes. Difficult clients, team disagreements, handling negative feedback, maybe a crisis situation. Lots of possibilities.
So the core skill they're testing is resilience and problem solving.
Pretty much. How do you react when things get tough? Do you maintain enthusiasm? Do you learn from it?
So the key isn't just describing the bad situation.
No, the focus should be on your response. What did you do? How did you approach it? What was the outcome? What did you learn?
Like the example about the toy competitor, the setback happened, but the focus was on analyzing, improving, and ultimately launching a better product.
Exactly that. Show constructive action and a positive attitude even when discussing a negative event. Practicing different scenarios helps build that vocabulary.
Okay, let's flip the coin. What do you consider your greatest weakness? How do you answer this honestly without shooting yourself in the foot?
Yes, the tightrope walk. Honesty is important. It shows self-awareness, but you absolutely need to pair it with improvement.
So admit a real weakness, but then talk about what you're doing about it.
Precisely. Think about actual challenges you faced. Maybe public speaking makes you nervous, or perhaps you used to struggle with delegation. Be genuine.
And the improvement part is crucial.
Absolutely. Mention a course you took, a book you read, a technique you're practicing. Frame it as ongoing development.
So the structure might be, my weakness is X. It sometimes comes up when Y, but I'm working on it by doing Z.
That's a great framework. Shows you're reflective and proactive.
Okay, looking ahead now. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's behind this question?
They want to gauge your ambition, your career goals, and whether they align with what the company can realistically offer.
Do they want to see if you're planning to stick around?
Partly, yes. And also, if you have realistic expectations about career progression, thinking about 1 year, 5 years, maybe even 10 years, shows you've considered your trajectory.
So starting with, in 5 years, I'd like to be, is a good approach.
Simple and direct. Then elaborate on the type of role or responsibilities you aspire to, linking it back to growth within their company if possible.
Like the example, aiming for a VP role focused on development, showing ambition tied to company growth.
Right. And like everything else, practicing this answer helps. It reduces stress and helps you articulate your goals clearly.
We're getting close to the end of a typical interview, and that's usually when the tables turn slightly. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. And this is not just a formality. Please don't say, no, I think you've covered everything.
Why is it so important to have questions?
It shows you're engaged, genuinely interested, and thinking critically about the role and the company. It's also your chance to see if it's the right fit for you.
So you should definitely prepare some questions beforehand.
Absolutely. Think about the position, the team dynamics, the company culture, maybe challenges the team is facing. Practice asking them clearly.
What are some examples of good questions?
Things like, looking back in a year, what would the person hired for this role have achieved to really exceed expectations? That shows you're focused on results.
Ooh, I like that one. What else?
Asking about the team you'd be working with is good. Can you tell me more about the team? Or even digging into challenges, like asking about team leader turnover if that came up. Shows you're not afraid of the details.
Asking thoughtful questions really demonstrates initiative.
It really does. It turns the interview into more of a two-way conversation.
Okay, let's quickly touch on some nonverbal stuff. We mentioned the handshake earlier.
Yes, crucial first and last impression. Firm grip, not bone-crushing, not limp, just confident. Applies to everyone.
And posture. How should you sit?
Upright, alert, good energy. Avoid slouching, which looks disinterested, but don't be stiff as a board either. Just look engaged.
Facial expressions. Should you be super serious?
No. Aim for approachable and positive. Smile genuinely when appropriate, not to show you're listening. Look engaged, and, frankly, like you'd be pleasant to work with.
And what about humor? Risky territory.
It can be, yes. A little bit, used very sparingly, can show personality. Maybe a light self-deprecating comment during the weakness question if it feels natural.
But don't overdo it.
Definitely not. One or two brief moments. Tops. The focus should remain professional.
So summing it all up, it sounds like the pillars are solid preparation across all these common stages.
Right. Thinking through your answers, practicing them out loud.
Giving thoughtful, genuine responses, not just canned answers.
Exactly. Linking your skills and experiences directly to the job.
And paying attention to those nonverbals, posture, handshake, engagement.
It all contributes to the overall impression you make. Understanding these pieces and practicing really can boost your confidence significantly.
Excellent. Well, thank you for tuning in to Interview Mock Lab podcast.
We really hope breaking down these English job interview practices and tips has been helpful for you.
Remember that preparation, understanding what interviewers are looking for, it really can make a huge difference in how confident you feel.
Absolutely.
And for more interview preparation insights, lots more mock interview content, please do like and subscribe to our Interview Mock Lab YouTube channel.
Thanks for listening.